Alright, so module number 7. Um, After watching the lectures, my thoughts towards the online learning is I think it's an awesome deal to add on to your regular classroom because now you can do learning anywhere. So like if you're on the bus, um, obviously you could have done that before, but I just think it's an awesome idea because you could do your class instead of having to like if you're doing like math homework, and if it's online it makes it so much easier than having to try to do your work and try to get it neat on your paper while this bus is shaking up and down. It makes it a lot simpler. um, I think, and it's also a good way, like if you're a kid that's you know if you're in a sport or something, with even if it's just like a blended classroom or just supplemental online stuff, it really makes it nice because then you don't feel like you're missing out on everything. So you can be able to learn online and uh, still get stuff done, even though if you're not in class. Like if you're on a school trip and you're in like a hotel room, well, you can take your class online through watching. If your teacher posts videos of the lecture or anything, you can watch that online instead of you know trying to work on it earlier and talking with the teacher, a couple of days before you even leave. Now you can be working on it during your trip and save you a lot of time. I think I think it is appropriate for students to complete online learning. Um, I just I think there's got to be some certain parameters so that we can like stop the cheating, because obviously it makes it a lot easier to cheat when you're doing it online because nobody's watching and you can open up another tab and be looking up your answers if it's like a test. I think if we can have some parameters for the test, I know we have like the lockdown browser. If we can come up with stuff like that to where it's just like you and the test, it'd be even better because then it prevents the cheating. And but I mean, I guess that's always going to happen because a kid could like have his cell phone and look up answers on his cell phone. So I really don't know how how you could do that. I guess if kids are taking online classes at school, you could have them maybe be in like the counselor's office or some sort of room where they can be monitored if they're doing online classes without um like if they're doing that separate from like school, so it's a fully online class instead of like a supplemental thing. um but I think I think the blended classroom, I think that's nice, but you can't really do that for high school because you can't just say, oh, we're not going to meet, we're just going to meet online. um but definitely for college, it's an awesome idea. Fully online, like I said earlier, the cheating is a big thing. um and our kids really learning because if you're just sitting there and looking up the answers online, copying and pasting, you're not really learning much. So the you may not be learning much in class either. You may be like dozing off or whatever, but at least you're in there and you're at least kind of hearing the stuff. Um, the thing is, though, is that with the fully online classes, it gives these kids that if you got to work or something, um, then you can take these online classes and you also be able to work, and it makes it easier to balance it instead of some kids maybe they have to like skip school or even drop out because they have to work for their family. So now if they could take fully online classes, they'd be able to work, get their high school diploma, and then move on with their lives. Because I think that'll be a big positive in the future. As far as requiring students, I think you should be required to at least just do one, because I mean pretty much every college class you're doing online stuff anyways. It's not necessarily fully online, but I think if we're doing this college and career ready, we got to be able to use resources online, and if we can get acquainted with all these online, um, with doing an online class, kind of helps with your responsibility. because you're not having that teacher like push you, oh hey, you got to get this done. It's on your own. If you don't do it, then it's your loss in college. So if we can start teaching these kids in high school, I think that would be awesome. I think having it required would be a good idea. And then my experience with the LMS, I chose Google Classroom just because I haven't used it before. I haven't really used any of the other ones either, but I just figured it'd be a little bit easier for me to set up, and it'd be nice since I already learned from the lessons, the training video, and all that stuff. I figured I might as well try it out. And um, what I liked about it, it's really easy to use, and it's a really awesome thing to be able to look at. And um, it's it shows everything out right there. Like you have up on your top screen, you have what assignments are due, when they're due, and then everything's just right there. So in a regular classroom, you got to write this stuff down. Teacher writes it on the board. You got to make sure to write it down in your planner. Well, what if I forget to write it in my planner? Well, you just anymore with Google Classroom, you just go right there, and everything is just laid out there that the teacher puts out. Now, obviously, the teacher has to put the information out there, but it's awesome that it's there. So if a kid misses school, he knows what he's missing. Doesn't have to worry about necessarily bothering the teacher. He can just go on the website, see what he missed, what's due, um, and then even if the teacher is good enough to get ahead, which is what I hope to do, then you can see, okay, I'm going to be gone next Friday. Let's see what we have, see when it's due, and because teachers get busy, so and these kids are busy, so and they don't necessarily want to go and bug the teacher, and so it's really cool to be able to have everything laid out and easy to access because there's not a lot of stuff going on with the Google Classroom, so it really makes it easy to use. And there's not really anything that I don't dislike. And I think by the time that I'm teaching, they'll get all the little issues figured out, and we'll be ready to go. And I think it'll be an awesome thing to be able to incorporate in my classroom.